Boarding will now commence as I call out the names of the passengers list. Please take your seats in order, starting from the front row on the right side and going right to left, then on to the next row. I will now begin reading the passenger list. Ushiromiya Hideyoshi-sama. Oh, I'm first. Right here. By the way, do you have the candy-sama? Look, I've been looking all over for them, but I can't find them. Hi, Ruby. Absolute cinema. We shall see. Ushiromiya Eva-sama. They're in my handbag. I'll give them when we're inside the plane. I've heard that candies are a good way to protect your ears from hurting due to variations in atmosphere pressure when landing or taking off. Just when I think I finished watching Umineko streams, here you are to drag me back in. I'm not gonna stream every session. I'm just free right now and I got nothing else to do. So I'm gonna stream this one time. Dude. Yes. I hope I get a window seat. Don't worry. There aren't any other kinds of seats. According to George Chanagame, there are apparently only 2 lines of seats. Yep, it's a small plane, alright. It isn't really going to shake, is it? Ushiromiya George-sama. Right here. Don't worry, Butler-kun. It won't shake too much. He did it again! He read his mind again. It cannot be a coincidence. But this one, I can let this one slide. Because, you know, maybe he's just calling back from before when he said it, right? But dude, this is the 3rd time George has read the mind of Butler. Something's going on. Ushiromiya Butler-sama. Aniki, how much is not too much? You can't just swim if you fall from a boat, but if a plane crashes, you're screwed, right? We all get our own parachutes in our seats, don't we? Wait, we don't? Ushiromiya Rudolph-sama. Come on, Butler, quit being a wuss and get in. Ow, Dad! Don't push me. We don't got parachutes. Ushiromiya Kairi-sama. Alright, stop fooling around. Let's move along. Ow, Kairi! Don't push me! This blockhead isn't moving forward. Ushiromiya Maria-sama. Forward. Ushiromiya Rosa-sama. Maria, keep quiet. This is good for me, honestly. Now that I know what I do, it'll be fun to see the stuff over again and see whatever I missed. Do you have voice acting off? Yes, I am more prone to getting bored if I am just watching a movie. I like reading. Even if you're reading it out loud, probably should have it at low volume. For me, I have it at low volume. Do you mean on the stream? Do I need to turn the stream lower? There you go. I lowered it a bit. Tell me if that's good. This is your pilot, Kawabata. We'd like to thank you for taking New Tokyo Aviation Flight 201 today. We estimate that the flight to Umineko Airport will take about 20 minutes. We are receiving reports of atmospheric turbulence. There might be some shaking of the aircraft, so we ask that you do not unfasten your seatbelts after takeoff. Aniki, did that guy just say we needed to wear seatbelts? In a jumbo jet, they let you undo them after takeoff, so it's gonna shake so much that we can't take them off? Dude, you tricked me! It is going to shake after all. Where are the parachutes? I knew I should have taken the boat! Right on. Legend of the Golden Witch. Oh, there you go. Ushiromiya Battler. Is this a second opening? Like, the first one was, like, the cinematic opening. This is the opening credits. There you go. Jessica? Who's Jessica? Kraus. I know who Kraus is from the character bios. Natsuhi, I don't know who that is. Rudolph, Rosa, Kairi, I know all of those. Nanjo is the doctor, Shannon I don't know, Goda I don't know, Genji is the butler, Kanon I don't know, the other one I don't know. Umineko no naku koro ni, Rondo of the Witch and Reasoning. That was quite lovely. Saturday, October 4, 1986. Wait, hold up. No, that's all correct. Cool. I was just double checking the date. Should have taken the boat. The boat. Gonna fall. Maria, that's enough. What a surprise. I thought there was nothing that could scare Butler-kun.
This guy can't handle vehicles for some reason. Always yells about falling and shaking and stuff. You're a disgrace of a man, you are.
Ah, shut up. That thing was seriously shaking way too much. I just got a little stressed since it was my first time on a small plane like that. You call that a little stressed? Sounds like it'll be fun to take an overseas vacation with you, Butler-kun. Would you like to go to Egypt with your aunt? You get to ride a plane for a full 14 hours. That's a good plan. Butler-kun, you should go let Eva-san toughen you up some. But boy, were you hilarious.
Now, everyone's got their own strong and weak points. It's bad to laugh at them.
Dad, you're laughing too. Hey, Maria-chan, you shouldn't laugh anymore. Shouldn't laugh anymore?
Yeah, Dad.
Is being scared of planes really such a big deal? Everyone obviously thinks I'm a big oaf now. Well, that's really nice looking. I like that. We split up and took separate taxis from the airport to the harbor. From there on, we would be taking a boat to the island. Hi, Dawn. No, it was Ruby Tomate up there who put a gun to my head to play it now or, forfeit my life. I didn't have a choice. I don't want to play this. He's making me. He's forcing me. But this Orion Ember here and Tax would be equally as happy to see that I'm playing it as well. The islands are right next to each other, so it's not that far. It would be a leisurely 30 minutes by boat. As we arrived at the pier, when the boat to the island was anchored, we saw a silhouette waving its hand. Oh, this is Jessica. The treacherous Tomate. Okay, so obviously lots of reds here. Her angle covers it, but the crest is once again on the left side. The hair color is weird though. It's different from everyone else's, but it is bordering on the reddish brown that Eva and Maria have. George Nissan, it's been so freaking long. Jessica-chan, it's been a year since I last saw you. You've gotten taller again, haven't you? Don't give me that. It's embarrassing hearing that every year. Hey, Aniki, you've got to be kidding me. That's really Jessica? Wait a sec. George Nissan, this massive beast is Battler. We both stared each other down. She definitely didn't look this grown up in my memories, but I do remember her crazy way of talking. Yo, Jessica, what's this now? You're kidding me. You look like a woman now. Wait, let's see here. Okay. Where does she fit in? So up here, this has to be Kinso and his wife. Meaning if these two are children of them two, that can't... No, it... Oh, I forgot about Kraus. Wait, no. This is probably not his wife. This is Kraus right here. So this would be Kraus's wife and whatever child he has. So Jessica's probably the child of Kraus and his wife, and this is Kinso. These are probably all servants. No idea what this could be. Probably the wife of Kinso, which is probably Beatriz. So this has to be the daughter of Kraus. I'm not reading that. Even you managed to get a chest. Oh my gosh. Alright. Hey, screw you. I'm a blushy flower of 18. Just like her hair grows out. Just like hair grows out, so will other stuff. You think I got just so you can go and... And what about you? Got anything to back up that ridiculous size? Did you remember to grow any actual muscle? Please be patient with him, please. I mean, this is a visual novel of this time. You know, I'm expecting worse than this. Like, when Ruby was giving me choices of what versions to play, I expected H scenes to be brought up in what versions, but he didn't mention none. So either he's hiding it, or there's none. Forgive our goat, please. You'd better believe it. I'll show you how much training I've piled up since back then. Oh, cram it. I'll beat you at your own game. The headstrong girl name is Ushiromiya. She was born under the same unlucky star as me, sharing the same kind of weird name. You see, it's pronounced Jessica. She's Dad's older brother's daughter. You can just say the name of the guy. Okay, so I was right. It is Kraus's daughter. No, there's none? Oh, 0 out of 10 game. That older brother happens to be the eldest son of the Ushiromiya family, so I guess that also technically makes Jessica a direct heir to the Ushiromiya family. This is not a Lindsay game. Since Jessica and I are the same age and had the type of boy-girl rivalry between us, we've always been used to fighting and joking around together whenever the relatives gathered. Jessica grew more quickly, so she always had me beat in terms of size and physical strength. So when we scuffed at a contest of strength like this, it usually went Jessica's way. So even though I clearly understand that I'm bigger now, I still feel like I can win against Jessica with my strength. Whoa! What are you getting all serious for? Ow! Hey, this is nothing! Jessica, you've gotten weak. Shut up! I'm a woman over here, believe it or not. No way I was always gonna be stronger than a man. Well, that's certainly true. The meat I put on my arms all went... It looks like it'll be pretty... It'll be a pretty even test of strength between my arms. Besides, how about you? Your height says you're an adult, but what about your other places, huh? Stop it, idiot. No, I'll be ruined for marriage. Don't touch me in strange places. This is totally... Great time I chose to stream. Honestly, I was so surprised at how feminine Jessica had become that I had to seriously horse around to hide it. Well, yeah, considering what a bossy brat she was 6 years ago, anyone would be surprised. So I guess she's just as surprised. She definitely wasn't expecting she'd lose to me in a test of strength. After losing that easily, she must be shocked at how much I've grown in the past 6 years. 6 years. And once again, I'm being shown just how much of a huge gap of time that was. Crap, total defeat. It's like, I'm no match for you anymore. That's not true. Even Butler-kun must have his weaknesses. Right, Maria? Gonna fall. Ugh, don't, Maria. Let's just keep that a secret, okay? Fall? What the hell's that? Sorry, but you won't be seeing that weakness of mine now. After all, the nightmare plane trip is already over and done with. Only thing left is the nice, quiet splashing of the boat trip. I never thought I'd become so fond of that piece of junk boat. Huh? George-Nisan, is there something wrong with his head? You'll understand soon. Very soon. At the time... Wait. Hold up. That leads you to believe that the boat is going to shake as well. So, Jessica will see Butler freak out again. Which means that, once again, George is showing some supernatural powers by being able to tell the future. Unless I'm wrong, but we shall see. Oh, she was in the credits too. Kumasawa Chiyo. That George So side profile is crazy. Oh, also, that's another thing. His character design, the way that he uses round glasses that fog up to cover up his eyes, and the fact that he always has his eyes closed, you know, everything about him screams suspicious. So I'm keeping my eye on him.
What have we... Oh, Butler-san, how big you've grown.
Who is it this time? It's an old lady with a night prime. Oh yeah, that takes me back. I remember her now. Oh, he doesn't always have his eyes closed. I thought he did for some reason. He's just smiling a lot. Remember her, Butler-kun? You remember. She's Kumasawa-san, one of the servants. I could never forget Kuwasama-ba-chan. I mean, you haven't aged a bit in these past 6 years. Wait, you haven't gotten younger, have you?
Lately, my skin has been getting all smooth and silky, and look, hasn't
gotten bigger as well. Brother! Very funny. My strictly even Now, please feel free. I'll give you a break. It's chicks I'm looking for, not grannies. The jokes I cracked about Jessica were being used against me. Come to think of it, she always was the type to tease people.
Kuwasama-san, stop that now. People with one foot in the coffin shouldn't jump around.
Sport with the young is the best rejuvenation medicine.
Ruby. It's not Orion Ember. I think no. I'm not talking with you right now. It's rare for you to come pick us up, Kumasawa-san. That's gonna be a hard one to get used to saying. What curious turn of events is this? Normally, whenever you're entrusted with something to do, your lumbago always kicks in. What is that?
Oh, Eva-sama, you are harsh as usual. I found myself with some urgent purchase to make, and while I was at it, I thought I'd come welcome you all. Although it does give a bad impression if the one waiting to greet you is a decrepit old woman.
Wait, I forgot to check the character again after Jessica got introduced. Okay, so red tie and a red skirt, just like Maria, the red skirt. Although I wouldn't doubt if Maria's red skirt is actually like a long dress, which would be pretty bad if my theory of the red being correct. That would mean like her entire body is covered in red. That's bad. But she is just clearly just a skirt. Ushiromi Jessica. Kraus and Natsuhi's daughter in the Oh, that's Natsuhi. Okay, so this is Kraus. I don't know if my mouse is visible on stream. I've been using my mouse to point a lot. Let me see. Let me double check. Capture cursor. Yeah, it should be on. Okay, so this is Kraus. This is Natsuhi. This is Kinso. The blues are probably all servants, so Kumasama-san is probably gonna show up in one of these. And it is a secret, but it's either Beatrice herself, the wife of Kinso, or possibly they're one and the same. Kraus and Natsuhi's daughter. In the absence of any irregularities, it is thought that she will eventually inherit the headship of the Ushiromiya family, or rather her husband will. However, she seems to have no interest in all of this. Born with weak bronchi and sometimes assailed by sudden asthma attacks. Very interesting thing to bring up. I feel like... Right! Who was it? Crap. Ah! Yeah, Kairi! Doesn't Kairi and Rudolph have a child as well? A younger girl. I think I wrote her name down. Yeah, Angie. Or Angie. Or Ange. That is, they have a daughter, and they said that she's also sickly. So it's probably no connection, but I just find it weird that two family members are apparently of the sickly type. She has asthma and whatever. Oh, yeah, she has asthma. And Angie has whatever she's going through right now. Some summer, winter sickness, I forgot what they said. Seeing someone enjoyed the slow intro of episode 1 is refreshing. Eating something good right now. I I don't... slow starts rarely never bother me because I know they're saying important things. Like, people's like, man, skip part 1 and 2 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They're boring. Like, no, they... I'm not getting into that. I'm just saying I'm not one to get bored or skip starting parts. Auntie Eva spoke sarcastically, but Kumasama-bachan's years of experience were nothing to sneeze at. She was more than capable of smoothly and coolly letting that comment slide. Well, I'd rather not say it, but old Kumasama-bachan may be past her prime as a servant. She might act as though she's in good health, but between her headaches and the lumbago, her body is wearing out. Can somebody tell me what lumbago is? I don't know what that is. To tell her the truth, the very fact that she still is working is impressive. How old is she this year again? She must be pushing 80 by now. It's incredible that she's still able to act so brightly. She just seemed to get more and more lively. Oh, that's right, here you are. It's the tea I was talking about before. Look, I brought you some. Please do try it later on. Auntie Rosa showed her the souvenir bag she'd taken out of her suitcase. To think that she had remembered the promise that she had apparently made last year and faithfully bought it. This sort of thoughtfulness was just like Auntie Rosa. She wasn't the kind of person who would forget or break a promise. As for Kumasawa-bachan, she seemed deeply touched by the fact that not only had Auntie Rosa remembered that year-old promise, she had brought the gift for a simple servant like her. This woman is Kumasawa Chiyo-san. She's a senior servant who's been working for the Ushiromiya head house for many years. As you could expect from someone her age, she isn't that good at manual labor, but from kitchen work to cleaning and laundry, she's a kind of super servant who can handle just about anything. It seems like her only flaw is a tendency to slack off. I hear she tries to get away from heavy or troublesome work by playing up her chronic diseases. In Kumasawa-bachan's case, maybe we should call that a sort of lazy craftiness, though it probably doesn't impress those paying her salary. As well, even if she's pretty flaky when it comes to work, I could never dislike her. I guess that's probably because of her cheerfulness and her constant smile.
Hey, glad to see you're still in fine spirits. How's your back doing then?
Fire writing. Low back pain, I see.
Even with the medicine, it's not getting one whit better. According to the doctor, nothing can be done for this one. It's what's called an incurable disease.
Blows me away how you just kept getting prettier, Jessica-chan. Be glad you ended up like Natsuhime-san.
Really? Personally, I don't think I look like her at all. I mean, I don't even want to be like my parents, because I got zero respect for them.
Wow! Rough.
No, you shouldn't say such things. It's amazing how many people don't want to be like their parents in our family.
That's me.
Hell no, don't you dare start taking after me. Your nose looking like mine already pisses me off.
What are you talking about? It's ridiculous how completely unlike you are, and like your father.
Come on, you can't be serious. Just how am I like that?
I don't see it either. They don't look very much alike.
You're his copy in arrogance and self-importance. The father's blood is especially strong in you, Nissan. And you and Nissan, wouldn't you say, Rosa? Oh, absolutely. Kraus Nissan and Rudolf Nissan are almost unbelievably like my dad.
Alright. Why am I the only one being under fire from the girls? Hideyoshi Nissan, please help me out. My, Rudolph-kun, you're always so popular with the ladies. I'm jealous.
As usual, you're popular enough to make me jealous. Well then, everyone, shall we head over to the boat? Come now, Maria-san, let's get on the boat together, alright? Everyone gets on together.
Hell yeah, this time around I'm not gonna be scared. We'll see about that. I'm used to being shaken by the waves. With that piece of junk fishing boat, I'm less afraid of shaking than the engine breaking down and the boat drifting off. Oh yes, Butler-kun, I forgot to tell you. That fishing boat was completely decrepit, so it was taken out of use a few years back. Now we get taken to the island in another boat. Alright, it's Butler's first time in a new boat. It's super comfy and freaking fast. It can go at crazy high speeds. Oh, that means less trip time, right? That sounds great. I mean, a boat might be better than an airplane, but if you're telling me we can spend even a little less time exposed to the danger of sinking, that's really just awesomely great.
Is Butler gonna fall again?
That's only our airplanes. Everything's fine now.
You know, it's apparently a modeled high-speed boat that captains pride and joy. Seems like he's tinkered with it quite a lot. He was going on about how he attached the 4 high-efficiency propellers to it, and now it can break 40 knots or something like that. He bragged to me so much I ended up memorizing it.
Me too. I remember since we're told about it every year. The captain said that since he lost a speed contest with a foreign fishing boat a long time ago, he became obsessed with modeling. He told us how his opponent back then could go at over 30 knots even though it was only a fishing boat. Remember all this. All of this will surely be important later. There's gonna be some storyline about how, man, this boat attacked us. It came at like over 30 knots, and you're like, oh, it's the same boat. Oh my gosh. To fulfill his thirst for revenge, for a revenge match, he created an awesome whole new super high-speed modeled boat. I'm sure you'll just love it, Battler. Super high-speed modeled boat? My first thought was that this would be a much better than some beat-up boat that might sink at any time, but for some reason I'm getting this feeling of foreboding. Nah. Bounce. Okay. So once again, my noticing of George powers have become true. He knew that this would happen. But this one I can let slide, because he did say that every year they hear about how fast this boat is. And they probably write it every year. I'm not sure. I forgot how often the conference happens. So he would have known already that it would have shaken a lot. So I'll let it pass. But I got my eye on him. I got my eye on him. Oh no, the screen.
Hey, Butler, maybe you should just swim to the island.
Butler-kun, you shouldn't lean over the railing too much. You might fall.
Gonna fall!
So this is why you were all grinning before. The super high-speed boat said to have been modeled to hell and back by its captain as a personal hobby was definitely nothing like the battered old fishing boat from 6 years ago. It's shaking! I'm gonna fall!
Gonna fall!
If I fall, I'll be in the sea, I'll drown! God, where's this parachute? No, wait, where's the boy? Give me a life jacket! What the hell, Patrick? What's that supposed to be? Jessica-chan, Maria-chan, it's not nice to tease. Butler-kun, if you're scared, then just don't come out on the deck. I think that if you stay inside the boat, you'll be a bit less afraid. That's a no thank you, Anagi. Shipwreck victims are always the one inside the boat. The survivors are usually those on the deck during the accident. So I'm staying right here. But it's shaking! I'm falling! Ah! It's shaking, falling! Maria, I told you to behave yourself. But Butler-kun, it looks like you really can't handle it. I'll go tell the captain to slow down for you. Ah, Rosa, thank you! Even on the sea, I exercise safe driving for reduced speeds, point and claw! Don't do that, Rosa. Ordeals are necessary for the young, right, Butler-kun? You can conquer this much no problem at all, right? Otherwise, you won't be able to go to Egypt with your aunt. Oh, Tiama, you're so mean. Oh no, I'm gonna fall. Life jacket, parachute. Ah! No, okay, turn it over and think that way. What's the enemy aiming for? He wants to make me afraid like this. If that's what he's aiming for, too bad. Like hell, I'd be scared. But stop it, I'm gonna fall. What is he talking about? Gosh, shaking screen did give me a bit of motion sickness. I'm good now. So after I made a huge fool of myself for a while, Auntie Rosa had to talk with the boat captain and he slowed down to a more manageable speed for me. The speed is a bit better. Earlier I didn't even feel alive. The new speed which I was capable of tolerating was apparently extremely slow. But that just now was completely insane. The whole boat was shaking, sliding and leaping on the ocean's surface. It felt like I was riding on the back of a flying fish. Just like it was still guffawing at me as I leaned against the railing, tired and disheartened. I lost in that strength contest earlier, but I'm glad to know I've got the edge where it really counts. But seriously,
damn it, go ahead and laugh. One of these days I'm gonna find your weakness and I'll get back you and then... Well, we'll just see about that if you ever do find out, okay? Battler all worn out. Yeah, battler all worn out. I want to die on land, not in the ocean or the sky. Maria was patting my back, so I patted her head in return. Her expression was blank as usual, but I realized that she wanted to console me. Butler-kun, the captain is throwing in drinks to make up for this. Have a drink and take a break, why don't you? To calm yourself down. George-aniki and Kumasawa-bachan brought us each an ice-cold drink with drops of moisture on the can. Judging from Kumasawa-san's big grin, our parents inside the boat were probably all rolling around laughing at my moment of pure terror. I'm so embarrassed that I can't bear to face any of them. If I didn't change the subject somehow, I had the feeling that I'd be the butt of everyone's jokes for the whole trip, so I tried to think of something harmless to talk about. Hey, Jessica. How are Uncle Kraus and Aunt Natsuhi doing? My old man and my mom. Unfortunately, they're fine. Though every other word out of their mouths is study, study, which pisses me off. I'm so jealous because it doesn't look like Uncle Hideyoshi or Uncle Rudolph say those kinds of things. Oh no. When I was slacking off during exams, I was always getting told exams. I thought it was annoying, but now I'm grateful. I knew her. George Aniki is magnanimous as ever. As for me, I have to look after myself. No one says a thing to me. Well, it's not like I listened if they did. Butler-san, have you still not returned to your birth home? Well, I kinda go back now and then. I still have lots of clothes and stuff left at my previous home. Butler has two homes? Something like that. Why? Why don't you have two homes? Oh, Maria, who couldn't really grasp the situation, voiced her naive question. However, the others just shot nervous glances at me, choosing not to respond even though they knew the answer. Huh? Maria, look, you can see the harbor now. Look over there. Can you see it? It's on the harbor. Apparently Jessica was trying to be nice by changing the subject. I don't know what it could mean. Obviously has a dead mom, but... Maybe... What was the mom's name? Asumu? Yeah, maybe Asumu and crap, why am I forgetting names already? Asumu. Good thing I write it down, right? And also there's the Grimoire I can read, but I'd rather use my notes. Rudolph! How could I forget? Rudolph is like the best character for Fire Emblem. Anyways, Rudolph and Asumu, maybe they separated, and Asumu went to live in another home away from the manor and took Battler with her, and that's why he has two homes, perhaps. Well, I'd rather not talk about it if I can help it, but it's uncomfortable to have it treated like some kind of weird taboo. I don't mind that much myself anymore. I am an Ushiromiya, but the truth is that for the past 6 years I've been living with my grandparents on my late mother's side, and I've even been using her family name. When those grandparents passed away, one after the other, I basically had no choice except to go back and live with the old bastard. Oh boy, already forgetting things. This is gonna be a good real... I write things down for this reason, alright? We're fine. Don't get me wrong, they didn't just run away from home or anything like that. The only one at fault here is my dad. I don't really blame Kairi-san. Being able to hold that old bastard's reins and ride him out is no mean feat. But as for the betrayal that old bastard inflicted on my mom, well, unfortunately I still haven't fully gotten over that. We'll be getting there soon. George-aniki cleared his throat, trying to change the topic. Please forgive my indiscretion. It seems this old woman has said too much already. If I have hurt your feelings... I don't mind it, and no one's feelings are hurt. Don't worry, I will never pronounce his name correctly. Kumasawa-san. Kumasawa-bachan. Kumasawa-san seemed to regret speaking out of turn, but I was more concerned about being worried for something like that, so I stood up and passed it off lightly.
After that, I had a sip of my drink and headed over to Maria and Jessica, who were gazing at the silhouette of the island.
Boom! Butler saw the island, There. Ooh.
Where is it? Oh, I see it now. Even after 6 years, the island hasn't changed a bit. No, I was hoping we could see the manor from here. The small island silhouette in front of us had gotten pretty close. The island's name is Rokkenjima. Man, Rokken! From Final Fantasy! No, it's a different spelling. It's a small island about 10 kilometers around, located in the Isu Archipelago. Since they call this archipelago the Isu 7, lots of people think there are 7 islands, but that's not true. There are actually more than 7. Rokkenjima is one of the minor islands that don't get counted. Even considering that, there are probably very few people who know about this island. After all, only the people of the Ushiromiya family come to this island. In other words, it has no ties whatsoever to outside or terror. Is that terrorists or tourists? So you'll never find this island name in a travel brochure. This is because all of Rokkenjima is in a state possessed by the Ushiromiya head house. Only the Ushiromiya family lives there, and only people connected to the Ushiromiya family come and go there. There's nothing there except a harbor and a mansion. The vast majority of the island is still just uncultivated forest. Such a waste, when it could be made into a nice golf course. Buddy, you best be joking right now. However, when you realize that the entire coastline is a private beach, it starts to sound pretty magnificent. I don't think I was joking. So, even despite not living in the manor, this guy has rich boy blood all over him. Golf course? Really? You might have realized it by now, but to put it simply, well, to the Ushiromiya family, it's just rolling in dough. The fortune possessed by the head house is apparently vast, and Dad and the others who make up the branch families have built up plenty of wealth for themselves, finding success in their respective businesses. Golf course, famously better than a wild forest. I want every single tree here cut down. I've been living a commoner's life at my grandparents' home these 6 years, so I completely forgotten. So, he calls himself a commoner when he talks about golf courses. I don't know, buddy. I think you're a faker. But the old bastard's house really is elegant, and everything about it is tuned to match the snobbish taste of the annoyingly rich. Come to think of it, I guess that means George, Aniki, Jessica, Maria, and I are all wealthy, high-class gentlemen and ladies. You think? Needless to say, none of us feel that way at all. I don't see myself as being rich, and George Aniki, who takes self-discipline very seriously, doesn't let himself get too comfortable. It's a funny line, and I'm sure I'm reading too much into it, something I didn't think about. But I do like it that he doesn't see himself as being rich, but he clearly is acting like it, like with the golf course comment. He sees it as normal, so he doesn't see himself as rich, even though he is. That's probably not important, but something fun to notice. Jessica is always complaining that she'd rather move to the city than be rich. Maria is still a kid who wasn't even interested in money at all. I guess that attitude itself is snobbish. From the perspective of people in poverty who can't pay the bills, we're very lucky to even have the luxury of thinking this way. This isn't the place to explain any further, so I won't. Anyway, it's the same as not being able to choose the parents you're born from. I didn't ask to be born into a rich family, and I don't think it's something I should be hated for. I can be pretty trying when people are prejudiced against you just because you're rich and refuse to judge you by your merits. As he pondered these sentimental thoughts, Maria leaned over the railing and started shouting.
Ooh, gone.
What's wrong, Maria? Did you drop something?
Gone.
Maria kept yelling gone. From her words alone, you would think she had perhaps dropped something, but she was actually pointing out over the ocean as she shouted. What's wrong? What's gone? I'll look for it too if you want. What is it? If she dropped something, she would probably have looked down the floor, but Maria was pointing out over the ocean. One would assume that she had seen something out over the ocean, but she kept saying that something was gone. Strange. Well, we know she practices probably doesn't practice it, but is interested in black magic. She's probably seen some ghoulies up there or something. However, since my last memories of this place came from 6 years ago, I was able to spot it before Aniki, who came here every year. Oh, okay, never mind. It's just something that's literally gone. Huh? If I remember correctly, wasn't there a torii or something on the top of the small crag around here? That's right, it was definitely there. I remember it well, since it's like a landmark, the first thing to greet you as you get closer to the island. Wow, you're amazing, Butler. Even though it's been 6 years, you remembered. It was here, wasn't it? I remember too. There used to be a shrine in a torii like thing standing all alone on the crag. Okay, so this is interesting. This probably means something, but I'm gonna connect it to something that has already been disproven, but I want to talk about it anyways. During the start of the game, when they showed the chess, I thought that they didn't have bishops, because I thought that the bishops on the chessboard were queens. But no, it was the opposite. They didn't have any queens on the board left, but they had their bishops. But now, they don't have a shrine in a torii, they removed it. So when I saw that the bishops were gone, allegedly, I was wrong, but let's say the bishops were gone, I started thinking that was signifying, like, that there's a lack of faith, a lack of belief, a lack of guidance, a lack of, not purpose, but like, sense of direction, right? Like, you can be, bishops guide the way, so something has been lost on the manor, on the family, where they can't find their way anymore. They've lost their guiding light, their North Star or whatever. But it's funny that even though I was wrong about that, because they did still have their bishops on the chess match, now they're bringing up another religious thing that has been torn away from the family. Weird, but alright. Oh, crap! I didn't know the control skip dialogue, but now we know. And now that you mention it, they are gone, aren't they? They definitely were there last year, I think. Gone. Maybe they were washed away by the waves or something. It was a small crack. It probably got brittle because of the exposure. I think so too. It's actually disappeared during the summer. Apparently. A huge lightning bolt fell one evening and smashed the shrine or some such. That is an incredible amount of bad omen right there, okay? The fishermen will whisper that it must undoubtedly be an ominous sign to have a thunderbolt fall upon our tutelary god. Lightning be gone, lightning be gone. Kumasawa-san smiled impishly as if teasing us, rubbing her hands together. However, Maria was apparently taking it seriously, and she stared fixedly over the ocean where the crag enshrining the local guardian deity was supposed to be. She does apparently like the occult stuff, so I guess she would care. Maria? An ominous sign. Enough, Kumasawa-san. Maria isn't old enough to understand this kind of joke. It's alright, Maria-chan. It's just a coincidence. Nothing scary is going to happen. Giorgianiki put a hand on Maria's shoulder to calm her down, but Maria's sharp eye expression didn't budge. Ominous. Ominous. Maria muttered that word over and over. Apparently, repeating a single word over and over is a habit that Maria's had for a long time. However, since the word she was saying was quite literally ominous, it was a bit creepy. I will be under the impression that the whole symbolism and all that I brought up is not on purpose, and all the entire point of the shrine getting destroyed is just to set the tone for what we're about to see. It's a bad omen, that's all. Hey now, Maria. Some disaster really will come if you keep saying that word over and over, I tapped Maria's other shoulder. Then Maria whipped her head around and stared into my face and spoke unblinkingly. Disaster coming. Huh? And just where is it coming from? I answered lightheartedly, trying to break this tension in the air. And in reply, Maria held up a finger, raised her arm high, and pointed up to the heavens. When I looked up, I saw that the sky was still just as cloudy, but it had grown a great deal more leaden than it had been that morning. Crap! I should have said it earlier. When they said that the manor was in an island, I was gonna make a joke that, oh boy, there's gonna be a thunderstorm and we won't be able to leave for 6 years and we're gonna be stuck in the manor forever. But it seems I'm gonna be right. That's right. They were saying that a typhoon was approaching. We had planned to spend one night on the island. Yeah, okay, I am right. We have planned to spend one night on the island, but if this storm doesn't pass quickly, I won't be able to make it to school on Monday. Well, I guess it makes for a pretty good excuse to be absent. She apparently sensed something ominous in the cloudy sky. She's been muttering for a while now. Girls at Maria's age tend to be very impressionable. She's just about the age when many girls start to get excited about sixth senses and whether they have any psychic potential and stuff. That's a thing? I mean, I guess I was like that as well. Yeah, I know. He just worded it weird. Like, not everyone is about psychic, but everyone thinks about getting superpowers. In a way, being sensitive about things like this isn't really out of the ordinary for a kid like her. I don't know, my guy. You're kind of crazy. It's alright, Maria-chan. The weather might get worse around tonight, but tomorrow will clear up and become a pretty blue sky.
Pretty blue sky.
That's right. By tomorrow, it'll be a pretty blue sky. There's no rain that doesn't end and no clouds that never clear.
Rain that doesn't end. Clouds that never clear.
Sure, the typhoon's coming, but it'll be gone before you know it. It's alright, Maria. Oh no. Maria started yelling, It looked as though she was having a tantrum because no one could understand what she was trying to say. The typhoon is never gonna end, bro. What in the world is Maria trying so desperately to warn us about? Unable to understand her, we could do nothing but feel a vague sense of foreboding. I've heard that everyone can feel the supernatural, but that it weakens as you age. That might mean that Maria, the youngest one of us all, still possessed some kind of sense that the rest of us had lost. I wonder if that sense is sending her a warning. At that moment, Kumasawa-san quietly opened her mouth.
Rumor has it.
Wait, did I skip something?
Rumor has it that long ago, Rokkenjima was...
Kuwasawa-san, let's not talk about that now. Just as Kuwasawa-san was about to tell some kind of story, Jessica sharply interrupted her. For Jessica, this was an extremely firm reaction. I wanted to push her further just out of simple curiosity, but judging by how Jessica was acting, it wasn't difficult to imagine that I would simply inflame Maria's sense unease further. If I did try to press her for the story, the odds were pretty good that it wouldn't be anything bright and cheery.
I do apologize for that. The wind here is hard to bear for the elderly, so if you would excuse me for now.
Gossipers have no reason to hang around after they've been told to stop chatting. When Kumasawa-san finally realized that she overstepped her bounds, she went back inside the boat. Towering cloud in summer. After she left, Uncle Hideyoshi came along to replace her. Since he had shown up partway through, he completely failed to notice the complicated atmosphere that hung around the scene. So he refreshingly and unwittingly swept that atmosphere aside. So in the end, it was his unwittingness that brightened the mood.
It looks like we're almost there. Alright, just a little more. Took forever at the speed we went today, didn't it? You all know whose fault that is.
Uncle Hideyoshi, give me a break already. Keep on twisting the knife. Seriously, because the peddlers is taking us forever. Maria had probably come to the conclusion that no one was going to listen to her. She hung her head, wearing a fretful face. As she did, George Aniki crouched down to meet her eyes and spoke to her kindly. Maria-chan, there's nothing to be afraid of, because we're all together now. There's nothing to be afraid of if we're together. Go ahead and say it.
There's nothing to be afraid of if we're together.
Yes, there's nothing to be afraid of if we're together. I wonder what type of game this is. If it's just some mystery of what's going on in the back lines of the family, or if these people are gonna actually start killing each other in the manor. Nobody answer! Nobody dare answer that. But I'm very curious. Yeah, I really thought I was a Tokyo ghoul that could eat people. That is an incredible thing to believe. Amazing. Yeah, George Aniki knows what he's talking about. If we're all together, there'll be absolutely never be anything at all to be scared of. Right, Jessica? Yeah, no doubt about that. George Nissan was always tells the truth, Maria.
George Oni-chan always true. Yes, I don't lie. So trust me, there's nothing to be afraid of if we're together. Giorgione-chan doesn't lie. I trust you. There's nothing to be afraid of if we're all together. Not afraid.
Maria jumped into George Aniki's arms and hugged him tightly. After Aniki patted her head, she jumped away again. Her facial expression had returned to completely to normal that she looked like a totally different person from moments before. That is the power of a wizard! This guy is evil, man. This guy is evil. She was once again the ordinary Maria.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore because we're all together.
Yeah, that's it. You look all better now. You're strong, Maria. Good girl.
I'm a good girl.
Hey now, what's going on here? Maria-chan didn't get seasick, did she?
Well, something like that. We'll be arriving soon. Please, I want to see the manor already. I love manners! The harbor was already drawing near. Oh, okay, the freeze frame scared me. Umineko, same thing as always. Tick tock. October 4, 1986. I sure hope I don't have to keep track of time. Like, don't do some Quentin Tarantino on me. Don't be making me piece together timelines. I should write it down in case. But it's the start. Surely it's not important at the start. I'll do it later. October 4. What was the time? 10:30. Arrived at the island. The boat gave a big shudder. Since we've docked at the harbor, the boat driver came out and jumped to the pier with a mooring rope. With a moody rope. A large man in a tuxedo was waiting there for us with a warm, smiling face. Okay, this has to be Kras. With a name like that, please be hot. Please be hot. Please, 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 please. And the oldest one, like, ooh, this guy, please. High hopes, high hopes. I didn't know him, but judging by his clothes, I guess that he was a servant of the Ushiromiya head house. Never mind, he was a servant. I want to meet Kraus so bad. Oh yeah, this guy's Novolette was definitely not Kraus. Goda Toshiro.
Welcome home, my lady. You were quite late and I began to worry.
Thanks for carrying. The boat had battler scared shirt. wait, I forgot to check the characters after the servant got introduced. Wait. No, I didn't read this. Kuma Sawachio. Maybe I think I did read it. Oh well, let's read it again. This elderly woman is a part-timer who has served the family for a great many years, despite quitting her job several times along the way. Shrewd and more than competent when it comes to performing her duties, but because of her chattiness and love of rumors, she is not highly regarded as a servant. Check DMs very well. They have sent me the original sprite of Goda here. It's not that bad. I kind of like it. That one has some charm to it. I like that one. So we had to slow down for him. Seriously, what a pain in the ass. Shut up. I'll remember this when the shoe's on the other foot someday. Ugh. At this rate, the world is spread around the entire family and I'll become the big conversation piece during dinner. Even without this, everyone will be talking about me because of the 6-year gap, and now I've provided them with even more topics. Damn it, why does the Ushiromiya main family have to live on this isolated island? In the meantime, the boat had finished its mooring. A small plank was lowered so that we could all get down. One by one, our parents came out of the boat.
You must all be quite tired from the long trip. Madame, please allow me to assist you.
Thanks. It's been a while, Gota-san. How are you?
Thank you for your concern. It's always my pleasure to serve.
Wait a second. I have a picture of the other servant we saw, Genji. Kinda looks identical to me. Let me double check. I don't organize my screenshots, so it takes like 5 minutes to load my screenshot folder because there's 10,000 pictures in there. Okay, no, I'm crazy. They're not similar at all. Genji is bald with gray hair. They just have the same outfit, which they do. Butler-kun, isn't this your first time meeting Goda-san? If I'm not mistaken, you were working here 6 years ago, right? Sorry, I'm just very interested in their placement of the reds. A handkerchief right over the heart, and then a necktie around the neck, like two of the most vital parts of the body, the heart and, you know, your neck. Like every animal in the world tries to protect their belly and their neck as much as possible because they're the most important. So having all the servants have a red necktie and a red handkerchief, because Genji also had it, is very interesting to me. Like they're all being kept here by whatever curse the family has or contract, like animals.
Indeed. So please allow me to greet him for the first time. It is an honor to meet you at last, Butler-sama.
I'm pretty secure about my height, but you're huge. This is definitely our first time meeting. If I ever met a big guy like you, I'd never forget it. It's a pleasure. I'm Butler.
Your return has been keenly anticipated, sir. I've been working for the Ushinomiya head house since the year before last. My name is Goda, your servant. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. If there is ever anything you need, please feel free to rely on me.
Goda-san, it's been some time.
It has been too long, George-sama. Please allow me to assist you. As usual, you're a reception and pro. If you ever need a job, just give me a holler, okay? Oh, how are you just like that?
I don't think they are allowed, otherwise they're gonna die.
You do me too much honor. Please allow me to assist you, Hideyoshi-sama.
Goda-san then lent a hand to everyone as they disembarked, greeting them as they passed. His speech and mannerisms had the refined polish of a professional. He was very graceful in contrast with his initially rough-looking appearance. Here's another thing. Genji seemed more human. Like, Goda so far seems very robotic. But Genji, when Kinso asked him for a drink, Genji, like, hesitated for a moment, right? Between Kinso and the doctor, he was like, oh, should I give him a drink or not? But he did it anyways, but I don't know. He seemed more human. So I wonder if that means anything. His large size made him seem a bit scary at first, but he was much more polite than my first impression of him had led me to believe. He claimed to have served on this island for 2 years, but he had doubtless worked at a similar job elsewhere before. After everybody disembarked, the mooring rope was untied and the boat started to steer away from the harbor. It was probably returning to his home port of Nijima, the last time we'll ever see it. The captain waved his hand in farewell. Maria what is that word? Waved back. I just realized why I've sometimes been feeling out of place to me. I can't hear the cries of the seagulls. Seagulls? The birds? I remember that whenever we came to this island, the seagulls always welcomed us with their lively nya-nya cries. I don't think they make that noise. But also weird. Doesn't usually seeing eagles mean like they're running away from a storm, so wouldn't we be seeing them right now? Or maybe it's that they're not here because the storm is coming. They already ran away. What are they? I don't know what Umineko means. So I don't know, I don't get the reference y'all making. Unless it's a Higurashi reference when they cry. And because of that, whenever I hear the cries of the seagulls in any other place, I get the feeling that I've come to a family conference. Except for the small part of the island where those of the Ushinomiya head house live, Rokkenjima had been left uncultivated, apparently transforming into a paradise for wild birds. Umineko seagull? Really? Interesting. But why though? A seagull of everything? I don't know much about seagulls. I just know that killing them is horrendous luck to anyone who lives on the sea. That's like, you're giga cursed if you kill a seagull. That's a popular superstition. And a second one is that I believe people believe that seagulls are a sign of danger. Like whenever they're running away from something, you should best on hurry on with them. So if those two things are correct, and I'm not just making them up, if I do remember correctly, then that kind of does make sense. They are basically arbiters of omens and curses. So naming this after them makes sense, especially with the manor taking place in an island. But it's just still weird to me. It doesn't feel satisfying, that answer, but we shall see. I must study up on my seagulls. First to a blacktail gull from Japan. Yep, I got no expertise on that subject, I'm afraid. Seemingly some cliff face or other had become home to a huge seagull colony, so this island was always full of them. Since those seagulls didn't come to greet us, it felt a bit lonely. What's wrong, Butler-kun? Oh, Auntie Rosa. No, it's nothing really. I was just saying I can't hear the seagulls, so it kind of feels a bit lonely. Oh, you're right. They're always so lively, but I can't see the height nor hair of one of them, do they? Why no seagulls? Maybe it's because the seagulls are having a gathering somewhere else, too. Maria, did you want to see the seagulls? Wanted to. What happened for all of them all to disappear? Maybe Jessica made all of them into shish kebabs and ate them. What the hell? Don't say disturbing things like that. Yoke and Maria are confused. Maria and Chan made them into shish kebabs and made them into shish kebabs. I did not. Okay? Why the hell would I do something like that? That's right. Jessica made them into shish kebabs. Skin and meatballs, liver and onion. Swimming meatballs, liver and onion. As I made fun of Jessica, Maria tagged along, looking like she was having fun. Oh, she really knows how to join in with things. Alright, then, starting today, I'll make you my #1 follower. I have a feeling that they're gonna kill the child. I don't know. Something in my bones. As I smiled at her, she beamed back overjoyed. I guess happy for this little bit of solidarity. That's not it, Maria-chan. I've heard that wild birds are attuned to changes in the weather and atmospheric pressure. That's what He's got my back. That is what I was saying. If you see seagulls running away from something, it means there's a tornado coming. So you best hurry on. And it looks like the weather will get worse around tonight. It's possible they hurried back to their nests. Not kebabs. Jessica Honey-chan didn't make them into kebabs. I did not. I told you I wouldn't do stuff like that. Alright, Butler, you admit right now that you lied. Butler-kun, Maria-chan is a naive girl, so she takes even jokes seriously. You should choose your jokes more carefully. Judge Aniki gently scolded me. Even though I outstripped Aniki in height, he still commanded respect as my elder. No choice but to obediently apologize. Hey, my bad. Maria, that just now was a joke. It's just today the seagulls are all quiet in their nests. Butler lie. You're Johnny-chan true. I was having fun, but you were actually just tricking me. Her pure eyes seem to accuse me. Maybe I went a little overboard with her after all. Yeah, that's right. What George Aniki said is true. The weather is bad, so they probably went home for today. It doesn't mean they're gone, does it? Right, Auntie? That's right. Tomorrow when the weather gets better, I'm sure they'll come back. I'll let you hear them meow cries. I'll wait for the weather to get better so they come back. Wait for tomorrow. Wait for the weather to get better. It's never getting better. Maria's mood lightened and she started looking forward to tomorrow when the seagulls would come back and fill the skies. I got bad news for you. Still, George Aniki really is amazing at taking care of kids. I think I remember Aniki taking good care of me as well when I was a brat 6 years ago. I don't trust George one bit, buddy. I don't trust George one bit. he's an old soul because he has the soul of someone old in him. There's a ghost possessing him, bro. I think he might have quite some talent for this kind of thing. Probably raised millions of children. Who knows? George-kun, you're so amazing at taking care of kids. I think you could work in childcare. Yeah, it's like you were born to do that. To me, that seems more you than doing business in some company president office. Oh no, childcare is a very respectable job of its own. It's not something you can merely do by liking children. You're truly modest, George-kun. But Butler-kun, you're quite good with children too, you know? Earlier, when I was just for a time, Maria seemed to be having a lot of fun. Keep on playing with her like you did just now. Just choose the jokes more carefully though, alright? Auntie Rosa winked at me, giggling a little. A real mother, I thought to myself, who's happy that Maria looks like she's having fun.
Come on, Rosa. And you brats too. What the hell is you doing? What the hell are you doing? Get a move on.
Alright, we're coming. The old bastard was beckoning us to hurry up. We better get along. It's not like it'll be too late to have the same discussion after we get our luggage in our rooms.
Well then, everyone, I shall lead you towards the guest rooms where you will be staying.
Please, this way. Goda-san called to everyone and started leading us. Kubasawa-san brought up the rear. Very pretty. A serpentine twisting path led through a dim forest. It ran up a bit uphill. I'd guess the path was made twisting so that the slope wouldn't be felt too much. But personally, I have been happier if they'd been man enough to make some stairs in a straight line. No doubt they made the path twisting on purpose to put on airs of distance and importance. Before long, we saw garden-style stone steps. Chat, it's time to meet the main character, the Manor. I'm so excited. The Manor and Kraus is what I'm most excited for. And obviously Beatrice, right? Now I remember how it goes from here. Go up these, and... wow! At the top of the stone steps, a beautiful guest house came into view. Wait, guest house? This isn't the Manor? Oh, brother. I'm still getting... show me already! Its facade was lovely, of course, but even more than that, we couldn't help but have our hearts stolen away by the splendor of that beautiful rose garden that spread before it. It's the Manor in the room with us. There is no Manor. It's all a lie.
It's as beautiful as ever this year. A real lightener for the...
Lightener, Deltarune? A real delight for the eyes. As they reached the top of the stone steps, the people welcomed in by the rose garden voiced their appreciation one after another. Even the flowers are less lively this year. It must be because the summer wasn't warm enough.
I to believe that is so. When one compares with last year's blooming, it is a pity that this year is somewhat inferior.
Even so, it was a delightful rose garden. Ah, my cat on my keyboard. Okay, we're good. I remember that huge amount of roses used to greet me every year, even over 6 years ago. This rose garden was the first thing that greeted the people who came to Rokkenjima. Even our parents who came every year couldn't help but let their wonder slip out. And moreover, it even looked like a powered-up version of the garden from 6 years ago. That was in my memories. This place is always so amazing. It would be so wonderful to have a rose garden like this in my own home.
Give it up. Who do you think would take care of it? Roses are a real pain, with bugs and diseases to worry about.
Yes, they are. I gotta stop looking at every little thing, but you know, the whole family has a rose motif, so what a thing to say that they're very hard to take care of. With a bunch of diseases and rot and horrible things and symbolism. Yes, they are. In fact, I hear that Kairi-Nisan attends to her rose every day and makes sure that it doesn't get nipped at without her knowing it.
Huh? I haven't heard anything like that. What's this?
What? Is that in the window? It has to be. Okay, I see now. Yes, I do. Though with him, it's the rose that goes off after the insect, so it's really more like some nasty carnivorous plant. Ew, dude.
Oh, so that's what you mean. Come on, Rosa. Can you give that a rest just for today? I've put that sort of thing completely behind me.
I wonder. After all, you are a womanizer on an almost genetic level. No need to worry, Rosa-chan. If a rose gives me too much trouble, I just chop it off at the roots. Oh, such frighteningly talk this is.
Guys who are popular with the ladies are always forced to live with danger on their side. I sure hope I turned out a bit prettier in my next life. Hideyoshi-san, as I keep telling you, it's not like that at all. And Kairi, stop it. You're freaking me out. You're making my rose wither.
Ew! Hey, Maria-chan, look over there. These roses are especially magnificent. Roses are magnificent. Smells pretty sweet. Look, these matches my elegance perfectly. Hey, cut it out! Maria's gonna imitate you and get hurt by thorns. She yelled at me as I leaned in with an exaggerated gesture to smell the rose's scent. I thought she was overreacting, but when I turned around, I saw Maria imitating my every movement and thereby putting a broad smile on George Aniki's face. Hey now, Maria, be careful. Rose thorns can hurt. Symbolism! Symbolism everywhere! George Anis-chan, this one rose is strange. Strange? What's wrong? Maria pointed out a single rose. I immediately understood why she found it odd. In the midst of all the magnificent roses, just one single rose was withering. Symbolism! Oh my gosh! I wonder, if we're talking way too literally, then it represents Kinso, who is currently dying, right? If he's not dead already. But if we're talking more metaphorically, it could be other stuff, like a rot in the middle of the family that is going to spread out to uncover all the secrets, right, and lay everything bare and show everyone what's going on. It can mean a lot of things. There wasn't any particular reason. Some roses flourish and others wither. That's all there was to it. But Maria seemed very concerned about there being only one unhealthy rose in a group of healthy ones. She must be feeling somehow like it's been left out. And also the thing with two children being sickly, right? Angie and Jessica. Like, it seems like the rot is already spreading throughout the family. So you feel sad for this one rose because it's the only one that isn't healthy? The others are all healthy, but this one's sad. Well, they all bloom and wither on their own. I'd bet the only reason that one withered now is because it blossomed earlier than any of the other roses. Yeah, that's right. It probably just bloomed all over the place, fulfilled its duty and went to rest. You shouldn't get so worked up about it. It seemed that Maria's sensitive... Oh my god. It seemed that Maria's pure sensitive nature was making her feel some emotional pain for some of the rose that withered alone. For the rose that withered alone. Even though she understood the logic of it, it still felt lonely to her. Okay, Maria-chan. Why don't you look after this one rose until we leave, then? George Aniki straightened up and felt around in his pocket. He then took out the wrapping from the candy he had eaten on the plane. He twisted it into a thin string and gently tied it to the rose as a sort of marker. Hey, that's pretty cute. Let's mark it with this. Later on, you can come and give it some water. I'm sure Mr. Rose will be happy. Come to give it water. I think you should give Mr. Rose here a name. I'm sure that'll make it happy, and you'll get to know it a little better. Name? Name. Also, we want to be really, really direct. You know, it could represent Rosa, because, you know, her name. But I don't think so. I think that's stupid. That would be like she has something wrong with her. She's gonna die or something. Perhaps if Rosa is the first one to die, then we know. Off topic, but ending today with 6,400 kills. Almost. See, the pace you're going now is really good. Good job. That's great progress. Though she still wore her usual sullen face, Maria crossed her arms and began to consider this intently. At the very least, she appeared to have been completely pulled out of her slump. Nice going, Aniki. George Nissan has always been really understanding. Can't help but respect him. Yeah, I guess it's just his gift. We've gotta learn some lessons from him.
Was this garden as fancy when you were a kid?
It was only after I left the house that it became this grand. Though I was more fond of the previous rustic garden. Nissan fiddled with it too much with his slightly questionable taste. It was much better the way it was before.
Eva, you gotta think positive. No matter how it might have looked, its beauty now is something to be admired. You'll be able to relax a lot better if you look at it that way.
I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying that I would have liked you to have seen the old, more wonderful garden as well.
Now then, everyone, if you please, I shall be guiding you to the rooms now.
Goda-san called to everyone to ask if we were ready. But our hearts have been completely stolen away by the Rose Garden after a year of absence, and we didn't lend him an ear. Since we weren't a travel group, it wasn't like we had a strict schedule to follow. Besides, for our parents, this was their fond old birth home they had returned to, so they felt no obligation to be pressured by anyone. Understanding the situation, Goda-san continued to wait, with a wide smile, for our parents to lose interest in the roses and tell him to guide us to their rooms. I want to meet Crow so bad. I need this over. I left myself just before this 3, which holds all my favorite parts of FF8, so once this is on and over, my love for this game can be revived once more. I sure hope so. I'm almost there.
My. Hey, if it isn't Kanon-kun. It's been so long. How are you doing?
Uncle Hideyoshi suddenly shouted. Oh? Big fan of this design. So, once again, the crest is on the left. On the collar, it's not as direct as a necktie, so probably nothing. But a red beret on her head. The red on her head, that's another pretty vital place. Very interesting, very interesting. Speaking of designs, I forgot to read about the second servant, if he's here. Goda Toshiro, servant employed as a chief. As a chef. While he hasn't served the family long, he has a polished talent for entertaining guests cultivated through his previous jobs, and is highly regarded as a servant. Since he was hired by Kraus and his wife, he is more trusted than those servants who have served the family longer, and who are thought of Kinso spies. Interesting. Also, I realized just now that Kumasawa doesn't have any red. Weird. In the direction he was waving, there was a slender boy. Slender man? Meeting him right after a huge man like Goda probably emphasized his small stature. The boy was in the middle of transporting piled up gardening tools and the like in a wheelbarrow. When he realized he was being called to stop, he set down the wheelbarrow, took his hat off and bowed his head. Good afternoon. I figured he was probably younger than me. I realized by the general atmosphere surrounding him that he was a servant too. Kurosawa's shoes. I did see them, but I feel like they were too dark to be considered dark. I read, but you are right. It would be really weird for a servant not to have any red. So I'll consider the shoes as red, yes. Though he did greet Uncle Hideyoshi back, he himself seemed like he might be unsociable. It was a greeting that lacked feeling. When Goda-san noticed that their interest had shifted towards him, he went to the boy's side and introduced him to us.
Butler-sama, I shall introduce you. He is one of the servants who serve the Ushiromiya house. Kanon-san, greet our guests.
I'm pleased to meet you. I am the servant, Kanon. Yeah, my first impression wasn't wrong. He gave the feeling that he was unsociable, or maybe a bit of a poor speaker. In contrast with Goda-san, who was extraordinarily polished as a servant, it was impossible not to feel the immaturity you expect of someone his age. When Goda-san urged him in a whisper to give a bit more of an introduction, the boy named Kanon only cast his eyes downward.
Kanon-san, could you perhaps give them a little more of a greeting?
I can't, because we are furniture. It seemed that he wasn't refusing to greet us out of spite, but rather he gave the impression that he didn't know what else to add to his greeting, and so could do nothing other than stay silent. Kanon-kun's meant a few words.
He might not be that sociable, but deep down, he's a really good person. Don't get him wrong. You've been working here for the last 3 years, was it? So yeah, you've been here a year longer than Goda-san, right, Kanun-kun? Even though it's not like he made a super bad impression, Jessica heartily backed him up. I see. Apparently him being unsociable works against him all the time. Cool, nice to meet you. I'm Butler. I'm 18. How old are you? A silence as if evaluating whether it was a question that must be answered or not. But here again, Jessica plowed ahead. If I remember correctly, he's 2 years younger than us, so 16, right? Yes, that is correct. It looked like if given a choice, he would have preferred not to tell us his age. Him not wanting to tell us his age was probably because he thought he would be looked down upon for it. I remember that when I was around his age, I hated being asked how old I was by adults. I see. 16, huh? That's gotta be a delicate time. In that case, I asked something I shouldn't have. I'm glad you're about our age. Just be cool and call me Butler. And I'll call you Kanon. Thank you very much. But just the sentiment is sufficient, Butler-sama. Jessica looked flustered for some reason. She seemed to think that my impression of Kanon was worsening because of his rejection, when I doubt a girl like Jessica understands his fretful male heart. As his elder, even by just 2 years, who would lead him into adolescence, I took it upon myself to understand that.
Kanon-san, could you perhaps be a little more courteous? A smiling face is also the duty of a servant.
I apologize. I shall make an effort. Goda-san, Kanon-kun has tried his best, isn't he? It seemed as though he was often warned about his discourtesy, and apparently he hadn't improved a bit. Goda-san kept his busyness smile, but let a small sigh of resignation escape. Well then, I still have work to do, if you'll excuse me. It looked like Kanon himself was uncomfortable with remaining silent here any longer. And after another perfunctory bow, he turned on his heels and started pushing the wheelbarrow again. Just then, suddenly, the wheelbarrow wobbled and fell, scattering the load. No! I guess the wheelbarrow with its single wheel caught on a pebble and lost its balance.
What have you done now? Quickly clean it up.
Goda-san urged him along in a low voice, as if reminding him that it is a servant's shame to present a clumsy appearance in front of the guest. Showing that he understood quite well without being told, Kanon-kun wordlessly reloaded the wheelbarrow with the fallen objects. What objects? He seemed to be fine with the light-looking gardening tools, shovels and such, but he looked like he was having trouble getting his arms around and lifting up some sacks of fertilizer. I say thank you for answering my question. Are you alright? You're so careless. Here.
My lady, you will dirty your garments. Please, leave him to him.
With an elegant gesture, Goda-san took the shovel that Jessica had just picked up. At his back was the figure of Kanon-kun having trouble with the sacks of fertilizer. You'll dirty your garments. Don't worry, the ones I'm wearing aren't that elegant. Besides, I hate guys who make the waitress pick up the fork they dropped at a restaurant. I lifted up the other bags that had fallen. Of course, they weren't light, but for me, it was a piece of cake. Kanon-kun turned his surprised eyes towards me. It was the face of the one who would never have expected to receive the help from a guest. But, Butler-sama, that's not necessary. I'll take care of everything, so... Don't you worry. I may not look it, but I've got it where it counts. Kanon could look like he hadn't yet gone through his growth spurt and was stuck with a sort of weak body. I guess this kind of weight is a bit much for him. It's quite heavy, isn't it? It's natural that it would be difficult for him. Kanon-kun, don't worry about it. Okay, my time to shine. This makes up for the boat part from before, right? Ha! As if your antics earlier could be written off just like that. I'll tell you all about it later, Kanon-kun, but Butler's a laugh and a half. Gonna fall. Banter made the job seem quick, and before I knew it, all the stuff had been piled back into the wheelbarrow. For letting you see such unsightliness, I beg your forgiveness.
Very well. Enough now. Please go now.
Letting such a disgraceful thing be seen by the guests who were supposed to be made welcome must have been hideously embarrassing as a servant. Pleased by Goda to hurry up and exit, Kanon-kun left.
You're too harsh on him, Goda-san. Wouldn't it have been better if you helped him instead of being a bully?
You are quite correct. I deeply implore your forgiveness.
Without even a twitch in his smile, Goda-san apologized elegantly.
Kanon-kun has a ton of things he's good at too. It's just that being young works against him all the time. It's a crying shame. It's a prickly age. You be nice to him. Keeping a tight lip is just what you want in a servant. Right, Kuma-sama-san?
Rudolph-sama, you truly are harsh. There is no servant as silent as I, of course.
Everyone smiled wearily at that shameless line. Even she herself didn't believe that, not in her wildest dreams. She said that to loosen us all up. Yeah, that's the kind of character Kumasawa Ba-chan used to be. The mood that had stifled a little was cleared up in the twinkling thanks to Kumasawa-san's cheerful smile. What a hard name for me, I don't know why. I'd like to put down the luggage soon. Goda-san, how are we to split up for our rooms?
I shall be the same as last year. I shall guide you. Please this way.
We headed towards the trim and elegant guest house. This was going to be our temporary quarters for a night. Good night, Phoenix. I am planning to stop as soon as I see the manor. Or Kraus. I just want to see those things. And then I shall stop for now. So hopefully you don't miss too much. But yes, fare thee well. Thank you for watching and good night to you. Kanon watched over ahead as the guests all entered the guest house. Then he let his eyes fall on those heavy sacks of fertilizer piled up in the wheelbarrow. This seems to be a third-person narration already, so we're back to third person. So before I said that if it's a third-person narration, it's Beatriz saying it. But it could just be that it's just game narration with no silly explanation like that. But for now, I shall continue thinking my theory. In his mind, he kept going over his previous mistake. Butler, big and strong, had picked up the sacks in front of him. The sacks he couldn't lift himself, as if they were feathers. It was extremely difficult for an outside observer to guess what emotions that favor had stirred up in Kanon. But as far as you could tell by watching him hang his head from behind, there was something that he just couldn't let go. Muttered words escaped his lips, but those words he murmured were so soft that they didn't reach even his own ears. Even I... Kanon hung his head, slightly biting his lower lip. Curious. There's a cat attacking me. Creature of the deep, leave me alone. You're so fat. I remember the rose garden, but I don't remember this guest house at all. Was it built like recently? Torayan, Visitor's Retreat, was written on the gatepost-like thing, but since everyone called it the guest house, I followed their lead. Torayan. What language is that? The brand new Western-style guest house that stood overlooking the rose garden had a magnificent design, carefully done in harmony with the garden. Correct. It was built just the year before last. Since then, we've been having them let us sleep over here. Yeah, because people seem to like this place more than that junky old mansion we had forever. Not me! Let me see it! I wish my room was over here. I 112. 112. I guess you could call my house upper class as well, but I was reminded again how completely ordinary it was compared to the head house. It showed a shockingly display of wealth that they would build this kind of awesome guest house for guests who come over like once a year.
Eva-sama, Hideyoshi-sama, please do make use of this room. Rudolph-sama, Kairi-sama, please make use of that room here.
Ah yes, I do appreciate how pretty and elegant this place is. Western style truly is wonderful. I don't think so.
I can handle the Western style for a few days, but any longer than that and you need the good old Japanese style. Japanese people just relax best on tatame mats.
They've been fighting over making our new house Japanese style or Western style. Mother still holds a grudge about father having started the construction as Japanese style, and they bicker all the time about it. Your parents get along well, George-san. I'm jealous as hell. Mine are so frosty, and yet they're alright with each other when it comes to my grades. All the rooms seem to be two-person. I was grateful because now I wasn't gonna be forced to share the same room with that old bastard for some bullshit reason like being family. Besides, I figured those two wouldn't be able to enjoy themselves with someone like me around. What's that creepy smile all about? You're thinking about something dirty, aren't you? Something dirty? Of course not. Please enjoy your stay. That hurts, you old bastard! Once again, Dad pulled my ears from behind.
Cut the crap. I'm getting a stomachache and I'm not in the mood for this. You're the guest of honor this time around. You play as nice as possible with Dad and Aniki and the rest. At the very least, pay attention to what you say in front of Dad, got it? Cause wisecracks go over like a lead balloon with him. Jessica-chan, what's the mood of our family head been like lately?
Same as last year, I guess. Considering they keep saying he's got 3 months left, he's as lively, grumpy, and irritable as ever. Meaning he's in his usual bad mood again this year. And the only one who's able to care of him is Genji-san. It seems that Master will only open his heart to Genji-san. Lately, us small people cannot even get an audience. He shut himself up in his study again, probably doing nothing but that weird black magic of his. Have you seen him, though? I wouldn't be surprised if this guy is already dead and this so-called Beatrice took over his body, and that's what he meant by his soul getting snatched. What he does for a hobby is his own damn business, but when he starts thinking up the plays, it really gets on my nerves. He can just stay in that study and never come out again for all I care. You shouldn't talk like that about the elderly. We're all indebted to him since he rebuilt the Ushiramiya family, and... excuse me, and a little gratitude wouldn't hurt. Well, sorry. I got the hiccups. After being rebuked by George Janikis, Jessica had no choice but to take back her thoughtless remark. The Ushiramiya family was wealthy beyond belief, but that, of course, meant that all its members were eccentric people, completely at odds with the rest of society. The head of the family standing at its peak, in other words, our grandfather, seemed to be a particularly eccentric and terrifying person, even for our family. Dad said he was getting a stomachache earlier, but I guess that was what all the adults who came here today were actually feeling. No doubt they were jealous of us, the grandchildren, just playing and laughing without a care. From the stories Dad told me, the head of the house was a violent man who rained blows on his sons with his own fist and even beat his daughters mercilessly with a wooden sword. If he was such a staunch traditionalist with his kids, why wasn't he the same with their names? Because of that, even us grandkids have to suffer. Well, that was pretty rough. Well, I have absolutely no trouble believing that terrifying image they paint of him. I don't have many memories of meeting him over the years, but I remember his face was full of menacing thunderclouds, always making the people around him shrink away with a sharp look. I remember that the room's atmosphere got so tense whenever he was around you couldn't even breathe. What my dad said right now about me being the guest of honor now carries a little more oomph for me. 6 years ago I was in grade school, but I'm in high schooler now. There's no getting away with that from it. If I don't show him respect, things will probably get serious. Scary. He does look frightening, but he's not completely terrifying. He did it again! No. He said it out loud. Okay. This one, we can let this one slide. Butler said it out loud. He's definitely never unfair. He's just not pretty talker, that's all. But Jordan-san, you've been the family darling since like forever because of your awesome grades, right? Grandfather treats us completely different. Like me, I've gotten slapped with a wooden sword. On my ass! My ass! On my... Okay, you don't gotta describe it too much. Well, you're the heiress of the head house, Jessica-chan. Grandfather is giving you special attention. You have to realize that his strictness shows how much he's expecting of you. Oh, come on. Seriously, I could've just turned the succession over to you, George Nisan. It's a bit of a heavy burden for me to carry. I think I've already said it before, but Jessica is the daughter who will inherit the head house. The pressure on her shoulders must be different from us, cousins of the branch families.
Just go on each heavy. If I hold it, will it get lighter?
Thanks. It's alright, it's not gonna get pushed on you, Maria-chan. I'm gonna bear the cross into my grave. Don't worry. I have high hopes for Jessica. I really like her so far. I think it's really interesting having her as the next in line. I hope she becomes more responsible as the story goes on. So far, only Jessica has my eyes. Very interested in her. But as for who I haven't met, obviously I'm very excited to meet Kraus and the Mansion and Beatrice. But from the characters we met, Jessica is the one I'm carrying for the most so far. Foul emote. Well, grateful for Maria's innocent consideration, it seemed that Jessica could not easily rid herself of the anxiety for the future that remained visible on her face. I guess I'm no different. Any high schooler with exams looking over... Oh crap! My cat stepped on the keyboard and clicked next. I guess I'm no different. Any high schooler with exams looming ahead is bound to have an anxiety for the future that they can't hide.
Maria, come here. You'll be in this room with Mom.
Butler-kun, apparently you are with me in this room here. Wow! That is so nice looking. There's 3 beds though. Oh? This is a surprise! It's bigger than the other parents' room. Wow! I figured us cousins are probably all going to gather in one place anyway. So I went and told them to make it a biggish room. Oh, so there are 3 beds. Oh! I guess 4 if Maria's... No, Maria's staying with Rosa.
I like your best too. Here is better than being together with Mama.
Okay, you like it here better too, Maria. Alright, this room is George's and mine, but we'll give you a special permission to come in. Keep it a secret from your mom, alright?
Secret.
Her mother, Auntie Rosa, was right behind her, but Maria still answered, striking the air with her fist clenched tight. After our parents put the luggage in the rooms, they gathered again in the corridor. Ooh, cool sprite.
So, brats, what are you gonna do? Are you cousins just gonna stay here and chat?
It seemed they were heading out to the mansion to announce their arrival. Yes, please take me, take me, take me, take me. Normally we would have to follow them and greet everyone together. Normally? But if that had been the case, Dad would have just said, you guys come too, and be done with it. No! He's telling us that it's alright if we don't come, so what will we do? Please, go!
It's gonna be time for lunch soon anyway. Better let the kids unwind here. Besides, if worst comes to worst, this might be the last chance to get to play outdoors.
I'll go too.
Maria, you house sit for Mama, okay? You behave yourself and wait here. Now that Maria had been told to house sit, we couldn't just leave her behind. George and Aki realized that immediately and gave her a clear reply for all of us. Well, we'll accept your offer and house it. We have lots of stories to tell each other after all. After a year. That would be best. And Butler-kun has 6 years worth to tell after all. yeah. I'll take care of the house like a good little boy. Kumasawa-san, I'm gonna stay here too. We'll leave the rest of the adults and us kids will break rank. That would be for the best. I'll report it to the madam.
Then everyone, I will be guiding you to the mansion. Please, this way.
The other kids aside, George is an adult now. Wouldn't it be better if he came with us?
If we make him come, poor George will be the only one left out. Interacting with his cousins is also important. Well then, see ya guys.
The adults left one after the other. Like the time we had guided us from the harbor, Goda-san went ahead and with Kubasawa-san at the rear. As we gathered in the cousin's room assigned to us, George Aniki asked us to excuse him for a second. He rushed over to Kumasawa-san, who was following behind the disappearing adults, and seemed to be asking her something. Secrets! Black magic! Ooh, he's a wizard, I'm telling you. He soon finished his business and came back. What's up, Aniki? Nothing. He came back with foggy eyes. Yeah, this guy's suspicious as heck. Nothing. I just wanted to ask something. Ask me too. Ask me too. What could it be that George Lee-san asked Kuwasawa-san and doesn't ask me, I wonder? I don't have a clue. No, you misunderstand. I'm not sure what you're misunderstanding, but Aniki was getting pretty tongue-tied. It's like he had something to hide and Jessica stirred on him. Whatever it is, something only Jessica knows and I don't. It's no fun at all. Hey Maria, it's not fair that we're the only one side of the loop, is it now? We want to hear what they're talking about, don't we? Butler and me want to know too. Butler and me want to know too. I fooled around while oohing together with Maria. No, I'm telling you, it's no big deal. Liar. You suck at lying. Now confess. Maria, you took his right side and I'll take his left. Me on the right side, Butler on the left. But wait a second. No, wait, you too. Stop. George Aniki rolled around on the bed in an effort to get away, and Maria and I played around chasing him. There's something in the back of my mind telling me I'm a high schooler now and not a damn kitten, but in spite of that, I miss this kind of fun. A warm kind of fun. We all enjoyed because the last thing you're gonna... last fun you'll ever have, buddy. The next day is gonna open with a dead body. Just you wait. What George Lee-san was asking Kuwasawa-san, see? Well, you know how it is. It's been a year since he last came to the head house. Apparently he's really dying to say hi to any servants that might have joined or quit in the meantime, see? Say hi. I say hi too. What the hell? That's not anything to feel guilty about, Aniki. That's not it, is it? Maria, don't be fooled. Aniki's still hiding something. Resume interrogation! Ah! Stop it, seriously! Maria-chan, you two, stop it already! They're probably busy with cleaning or lunch arrangements. It's alright, we'll go and greet them properly afterwards. Basically, you wanted Shannon out there to greet you, not that Goda getting in the way, right? Shannon? Ah, I remember that girl. She's still a servant now. How is she? Oh! A glimmer of the manor, I think. This is supposed to... Yes! This is the manor! No, is it? I can tell. It is! A bit underwhelming, I cannot lie. But it's still very pretty. I would like to see all of it. But also, that reminds me to check Kanon. Oh, that's a lot of red. Kanon, a young servant, performs his duties silently and diligently, but due to his unsociable nature, he is not so highly regarded as a servant. There are several other servants with the Un character and their synonyms. He and Shannon just happen to be the ones on duty that day. What do you mean that day? That's a weird phrasing. That day? It's like these bios are written in the future. Weird. So it's based on a real mansion, by the way. Oh, that's really cool. How many Umineko fans make the pilgrimage to visit the mansion? By the way, Natsuhini-san. Oh yes, we get to meet Natsuhi. I was also excited to meet Harold, though not as much as Kraus. How's your headache been lately? So another sickly person here. It seemed to be pretty serious for a time. Also, Kumasawa-san is also bad with her back. There's a lot of sickness going around in this family. Whoa! Wait, I've seen this person! Ruby Tomato and his cohorts post like images or gifs of this fella here. I recognize her. She's pretty. I like her. What voice should I give her? Me and Jules hope one day to go. That's so cool. I hope you can go. That's so rad that you can actually go. It's like how it's like how Fate fans make the pilgrimage to visit the real King Arthur's grave. I love things like that. I have been much better lately. Thank you for your concern. Oh, right here. I have a present for you, Natsuki-san. Thank you once again. I'm always receiving gifts from you. This is black tea. It's herb tea with peppermint and lemon balm. It's a blend from a famous store and it's supposed to be good for headaches. I thought it might help you too. Rosa was always a conscious... I don't know what this word is. A conscientious woman. Probably because she was the youngest of four and by quite some distance. So again, this is a third-person narration. It's just weird. I don't want to just take it as random narration. I think it would be much funner if this was Beatrice narrating, like live. Because Kinso said that she could just be hiding. He could probably just be crazy, right? There's no need to be believing what he says when he was going all crazy. But, I mean, that's the thing though, right? I don't know anything about this game. I don't know how much of it is literal and how much is not. Like, there could be no supernatural elements to this. Like, the whole witch thing could just be like on the insulting way. You know how you call an old grouchy woman a witch? It could just be that Beatrice is just a very strict woman and not an actual witch. And the whole my soul is gonna get ripped apart by demons and everything I've gotten is gonna be lost. It's probably like him being dramatic. His soul is not actually going to be taken away. It's just saying that he's going to be condemned from whatever he's done in his life with Beatrice, and then Beatrice is going to take all of his wealth, thus making it all lost, right? Or it could be supernatural elements here, and she literally is a witch with an actual contract, demon contracts with demons, and she could be invisible in this room right now watching them narrating. For now, I will believe that it is supernatural until proven otherwise. She managed to grow up without harboring the venomosity of her siblings. Her consideration made Natsuhi often soften her expression for just a moment, but it wasn't enough to undo the many years of anxiety that had curdled her expression into one of bland indifference. Oh yes, you always were saying you get those headaches. Pull yourself together. Jessica-chan will have her exams this year, won't she? Isn't that a turning point in her life? How can she count on her mother like that? Besides, Natsuhini-san, you're 3 years younger than me. Can you pull yourself together? Great words of encouragement there. Real good. I apologize. I was born with this discomfort. Eva sometimes fails to choose her words carefully, but even though she hid it with a smile, her comments aimed at Natsuhi contained shards of obvious malice. Of course, it didn't escape Natsuhi. She frantically contained her urge to grimace and pretended to ignore Eva. Our butler-kun will have his exams this year too, right? Rudolph-san, shouldn't you be getting a little concerned too? For the sake of your own son, get serious to the point of getting headaches like Natsuhi-san?
If I say anything, he automatically goes against it. So what should I say? Maybe the opposite, that it's okay for him to mess around. That's probably the only thing he'll obediently listen to. In your family, Hideyoshi-san, didn't George do really well on his exams? Please, teach me the secret to controlling children. Well, it's probably because I convinced him why he should study. Study isn't worth anything on its own. That's right, the real point of studying is to train yourself at the art of researching what you don't know. If you can't do that, you can't be useful to society. I'm not talking about math or writing. You need to learn how to learn.
That is splendid. It would be nice if Jessica could understand that, though. I don't mean this too seriously, as it is. As an heiress of the Ushiromiya family, she's... Do you really have to force her into becoming the successor? Women have to find their own happiness. Parents shouldn't be deciding that for their children, right?
Hold your horses, Eva. Each family has its own way to raise their children. You shouldn't be pushing.
I'm sorry. Natsuhini-san, don't take it the wrong way. Though the light shimmering in through the window was quite warm despite the cloudy weather, there was a dark mood about the room, which probably caused headaches for other people besides Natsuhi. As if to brush away the mood, Kairi brightly made a suggestion to all present. Still, this black tea has a really lovely aroma. Let's drink it all at once. I believe that in Japan, you can't buy something like Leopold's black tea anywhere but Jinsare. Kairi-ni-san, how knowledgeable of you. It really was worth buying. Kairi and Rosa stood up from their seats and made it as if to prepare the black tea. Natsui forestalled them. Thank you both. Let us save that for later. One of our people will soon be coming to bring some tea, so please relax.
Leave it for later, you two. Let them treat us to a welcome drink at least.
Rudolph gave a pseudo signal with his eyes for them to sit down again. Kairi and Rosa understood instantly and obediently returned to their seats. The guests had already been greeted, so it was time for some tea to be prepared for them. And that tea was late, and having the guests talk about making some themselves was an embarrassment for the host. Natsuhi bit her lower lip, frustrated with the impetitude of the servants who were taking too long to bring the tea. Seeing her face, Eva without hesitation started to giggle. Of course, Shannon had no way of knowing what was taking place in the parlor, as she came in pushing a dish that cart piled with teacups. Natsui gave her a pained look for no apparent reason, and Shannon couldn't help but flinch without knowing what she had done wrong. Excuse me, I shall prepare some tea for you. The hair. Wait, I recognize that hair color. Oh, so once again, no handkerchief, but a red necktie around a servant. I wonder why the old lady doesn't have them. Anyways, the hair. So she's blonde. We don't know about her family. George has dark hair like his father. Eva has golden brown hair like Beatrice. Dark hair. Kinso had white hair because he's old. So we can assume that Kinso had black hair. White hair, but you know, she's from outside the family. Butler has red hair, which is very concerning. I like to think that it means that he's also blood related to Beatrice, but we shall see about that. This is not brown golden, just brown hair. Different from Eva, but you know, you can see how they could be similar. Both similar to Beatrice. But then you have Maria, who got the same hair as Eva, aka the same hair as Beatrice. White hair, black hair. So I was crazy about Shannon's hair. Nobody shares Shannon's hair. Wait, or is it like Rosa's? No. I swear that hair color looks familiar, but I'm just crazy. Because no, it's very different from Rosa's. The kind of like grassy, swampy green. I felt like I remembered it, but guess not. Oh, Shannon-chan, it's been a while. You've kept getting prettier every time I see you. Oh, thanks. Leave the chatting for after you set the table. The tea will get cold. I apologize, madam. She apologized like a small frightened animal, and bumping against the serving cart made a jarring racket as she dropped several teaspoons. Alright, order. I shall stop for tonight if the stream reaches 2 hours, which is in like 6 minutes, or if Kraus shows up. Her clumsiness made Natsuki's expression even harsher, which made Shannon in turn quail even more. It's alright, Natsuhini-san. What does a single greeting matter? We've already been made to wait for so long, the tea must be quite cold anyway. It's alright. It's not cold yet, so... Shannon finished setting the table quickly. I'm sorry, madam. It was obvious Natsuhi was getting irritated.
The ineptitude that delayed the tea, the clumsiness of the servants, everything pointed to the incompetence of Natsuhi's everyday guidance, making her lose face. Not the crying emojis. I would think that you guys would... thank you for enjoying it. Oh my gosh, my cat's just dropped a bunch of packages that I had. Oh well, I shall clean that after. Bro said, okay, read. Okay, gonna read 20 minutes. As the person in charge of matters of the Ushiramiya head house, allowing that clumsiness to expose today of all days was surely nothing less than total humiliation.
Lay off Natsuhini-san. Don't you think it's a little harsh to bully Shannon-chan when she's trying her best?
I'm not bullying anyone. What a nice smell. May I ask you what brand of tea this is? I'm terribly sorry. I'll find out for you later. Kaori had tried to be nice to her, wanted to cut through the tense mood. However, instead, Shannon had shown a disgraceful display, darkening Natsuhi's face and the room's mood. By this point, Eva's giggles were loud enough to be heard by everyone in the room. What's this? Shannon-chan, don't you even know what you're pouring us? Come now, you mustn't serve something so suspicious to guests. We'll need a silver spoon at the very least before we can drink this. I'm sorry. I'll go get one immediately. Shannon-chan, do you know what silver spoons are used for? Or what they have to be silver? Is to test for poison, right? Do you know why? No, Eva's eyes played over Shannon, who was setting the table, as a catty smile floated onto her face. Taken on its own, the expression on Eva's face may have been charming in an impish sort of way. However, the words being spun from her lips held within them the keenness of a razor. Shannon tried with all her might to avoid Eva's gaze, which continued to focus on her. Grasping that Shannon was hard-pressed for an answer, Rosa promptly gave some timely help. They say that silver dims if it is touched by poison. You've learned something, right, Shannon-chan? I was right. The tea was being treated as undrinkable unless it could first be tested for poison. In Natsuhi's eyes, this was an insult to both the tea and herself for serving it. Rudolph, laughing, flippantly patted Eva's shoulder.
You don't need any silver cutlery. With just one lick of your poisonous tongue, even a silver plate would go pitch black. I get to hear the poison tongue every day, so I must be poison-proof by now. Eva, I don't mind you doing it to me, but you gotta tone it down a smidgen for the poor souls without resistance.
Oh my, how cruel. I only gave Shannon-chan a bit of information about tea, didn't I? Everyone followed the lead set by Hideyoshi's horse laugh and smiled through sorely. There remained a single exception in this, in Natsuhi, for even so, for the time being, the conversation inside the parlor could now be mistaken for a lively and friendly chat. As Shannon finally finished setting the tea table and made to leave, Kairi apologized to her in a low voice for not being able to help. Shannon gave a light bow and made a hasty retreat. Shannon cast her eyes downwards, pushing the cart down the corridor. Oh, there we go. The pitiful air around her made it obvious that she had borne the brunt of some bullying. Don't be sad. You didn't do anything wrong, Nisan. You were watching. That is my duty. Madame and Eva-sama can go to hell, but the even worse coward is that guy. Kanon glared hatefully in the opposite direction of the parlor. Wait, who? I assume... crap, I forgot his name. How? The father of Butler. I assume that's the character guy. The preparations for the tea had been unless they were looking straight at me. Is this a Undertale situation? A Deltarune situation where the player is the character? Nah, there can't be. The preparations for the tea had been delayed by a little bit of trouble in the kitchen. The trouble had not been Shannon's fault. The truth is that it had been Goda's mistake. Oh, okay, this was the coward. In the first place, there was no way that a show-off like Goda would ever hand over a flamboyant job like carting the tea to the guest. He had needed to make the tea all over again, which had made him late. So realizing that he wouldn't be earning any brownie points, he had pushed the cast of setting the table on Shannon, who happened to be passing by. One could truthfully call it being shrewd, and one could unquestionably call it cowardice. I gotta stop yapping before they are clearly about to explain what I'm theorizing about.
It's alright, Kanon-kun. Thank you. I really don't mind.
Kanon's silence vividly showed that Shannon's words weren't coming from her heart.
Thank you. Even if you're the only one who understands, I still feel a bit better, I think.
You bottle things up too much, Nissan. You should be less hard on yourself for once.
Yeah, thanks.
Suddenly they both felt someone's presence and whirled around. Genji! An elderly man stood there. It was Genji, the head servant.
What are you doing here? Shannon, hurry back to the kitchen.
Yes, if you'll excuse me.
Shannon humbly obeyed and promptly made to push the cart and leave. However, Kanon appealed to Genji in silence, bearing something in his eyes that he could not express in words.
What is it? Did something happen?
Shannon didn't do anything wrong, but those...
Stop it, Kanon-kun. If you'll excuse me, I'll return to work immediately. Kanon-kun, you too go back to your post. Please.
If you say so, Nissan.
If there is nothing, then go.
Yes. If you'll excuse us. Hi, Sam. I'm sad you're nearing at the end here. I'm about to finish up, but I'm glad you could make it. From the shadows in the hallway, an old woman wearing an apron watched over them. It was Kumasa. How hard... Oh, this must be her inner monologue.
How heartening, Shannon-san, Kanon-san. There's no reason for those two to be picked on, but it cannot be denied that they are disliked by Goda-san. Before Goda-san was taken in by the Ushiromiya head house, I heard he worked for a fabulous hotel somewhere. I do think that manner of work he learned there was quite something. It's just that Goda-san is the newest servant here. He must have a lot of pride accumulated from his previous posts. Because Shannon-san and Kanon-kun are his seniors here at the mansion, and yet are inexperienced and have gone through much less in life than he has, he picks on them at every chance he gets. And also, although it's terrible, they are hated by Madame Natsuhi too. Of course, in terms of experience, Madame has been in the family much longer. However, I must feel some sympathy for Madame as well in this case. The master is a truly cruel person. Why could he not realize that his trifling whim would pass such an inferiority complex onto Madame? Naturally, deep inside, even Madame fully acknowledges that there's no reason to treat those two so harshly. However, the heart has reasons that reason knows not. Ah, how heartening. I cannot do anything but watch over them from the shadows.
Curious? Oh! Looks to me like this could be a great time to stop, if there's some kind of intermission here. October 4, 12. I'm afraid this is a perfect time to stop. Let me just write down the time here. October 4, 12. Hour 12. Yes. That's a nice little intermission there. Great time to stop. New chapter also, that's what it means. That means new chapter, very good to know. But yeah, chapter done, so perfect time to end. It's okay, I know I already missed you solving everything. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a bit of a chore to play the game from now on, because, you know, I know everything already, but I'll chuggle through it for Ruby, I suppose. But yeah, great story. I mean, yeah, the game and everything makes sense already. But in seriousness, I am enjoying this a lot. I'm very excited to meet Kraus. I am very excited to meet Beatrice. I'm very excited to see more of the manor, you know. Stop with the crying emojis. I'm very excited to see what secrets the manor holds. You know, with these manors, there's always some hidden chambers, and this speak of dark magic. You know, there's probably some sacrifice rooms. We're probably gonna sacrifice someone eventually. So you know, I'm very excited for all of that. So far, I am loving every character, but that makes sense for a visual novel. But as I said earlier, Jessica, already a top 1 character. I love her a lot. She's very fun, and just her concept is very fun. Having a very young, naive person be an heiress to the family, I think that's a very interesting thing, and I hope we can see her develop more and become more responsible, or completely fight off the inheritance. We shall see about that. So yeah. In short, my hopes are to see Kraus and see Beatrice, and my favorite thing so far is Jessica. And that is all for now. I shall not disappear forever. You will never see me again. I will never stream this game ever again. And I will be leaving Ruby's server. That is all for now. Farewell to all, good night, and thank you all for watching. It means a lot. I'm glad. I'm always self-conscious. I think, like, especially a visual novel, just me reading, I feel like it could be pretty boring, especially for how long I play. But I'm glad that you all still enjoyed it. You're clearly all giga, mega Umineko fiends. But this is where we part ways. Farewell and good night. Thank you.